Hey, how's it going, guys? Thank you for joining me on this week's episode of The Real Deal. So, let's talk about the market. Let's see how hot it is. Let's see how cold it is. Let's see what's going on. Um, it's not cold. It's absolutely just hot right now. I'll be honest with you guys. It is extremely busy here in the Arizona market now. Different locations throughout the U.S. maybe are being affected differently, but here in Arizona, here specifically in like the Maricopa County, Phoenix, Peoria, Glendale, East Valley, it is extremely busy. It's probably the busiest that I've ever been in my real estate career. And the agents and I will kind of go through and we'll kind of see what it is really that like we're seeing, because we'll kind of talk about offer strategies, and we'll talk about what it's taking to get our offers accepted. And it's definitely never been like this as far as how busy it is with the amount of buyers that I have that are coming to the table, or amount of buyers that I have actively shopping, to the point where I've now had to expand to have 3 showing agents help me out with my showings, just because it's real busy. So a couple of things that we're kind of talking about, right? Especially with all the stuff that happened with COVID, or that's still happening, especially here in Arizona. It's going to be a combination of 2 things. I definitely feel like whenever all the COVID stuff was really kind of rampant and was going on earlier in the year, a lot of buyers retracted. A lot of buyers were kind of holding back. They didn't want to make any moves. They didn't want to, because that talk, your friends, your family, everybody, the market's going to crash. The market's going to crash. That didn't happen. It's absolutely been the opposite of that. Right now is busy season. Right now, when summertime, the kids, most of the time parents are trying to get their kids enrolled into the new school year. This is when it's real busy. So a combination of that, plus then everybody kind of got relaxed and everybody saw, obviously this is a huge deal. Obviously we have kind of a hot case here going on in Arizona, but everybody just kind of relaxed themselves and they're like, okay, now I got to get back to reality. Now I got to get back to purchasing a house. I'm seeing that the market's not going to crash. I've had plenty of clients that have come back to me from the last couple months that were like, hey, I was kind of holding off with everything, but now that I saw that things are just kind of back to normal as far as real estate goes, like I'm ready to buy. And I feel like that happened multiple times with multiple agents, and just kind of compounded. If you think about how many different agents are out there, I just feel like everybody's buyers were just kind of holding back and then waiting, and then everybody's just like, okay, cool, it's time to buy. Like I want to buy my next home. On the flip side, on the seller side, I feel that they're kind of retracting a little bit. I feel like sellers right now, because of everything that's going on, they maybe are wanting to be a little bit more careful with having people go through their houses. I've seen some of the some of the private remarks on some of the showing requests that I put out there, where sellers are specifically asking for buyers, which is safe, and I respect that, for buyers to walk in with masks, or use hand sanitizer at the door. I hadn't gotten to the point where I needed to carry around masks for my clients, but then I realized, a lot of these sellers are asking for that. So now I had to go buy a pack of masks so that way I can give them to my buyers whenever a seller is specifically asking for that. Now I do my best to go into the house, open that up, and make sure that not touching a lot of stuff. But I feel like this is causing some sellers to kind of hold back. They don't really want strangers in their house. We have a lot of cases here in Arizona of COVID stuff. And I feel that a combination of sellers wanting to hold back and buyers ready to buy is just creating this huge just demand for houses that there's just not enough supply for. It's crazy. Like it was a lot more evident when I was doing my pick of the day the other day. I was doing my pick of the day. And usually when I would do my pick of the day, like I kind of find certain areas, certain price points, certain size lots, certain conditions of homes, where pretty much at any given time, around this time last year, I would have like 1,300 houses to choose from. Now, obviously I don't go through 12 or 1,300 homes, every time. I basically just refresh my list. And every time I would refresh my list, I would get like an extra 150 per day. Right. Well, I was just kind of checking the other day, and that number has decreased by about 58%. Which is kind of crazy to think about, So before, around this time last year, I had a lot more options to choose from for my pick of the day. So even my pick of the day is getting hard because some sellers some sellers agents are being too cheap to even pay for pictures. They're like, hey, this house is going to sell regardless. I still don't do that. I still pay for professional pictures to get taken to my clients' houses. But like I was just thinking about that percentage, right? It was about 58% less inventory for me to choose from. And obviously, if you scale that up, I mean, that translates to, about half as much of new available active options that are coming on the market, which is kind of just like insane. Like it's sellers are getting a ton of offers on their houses. Every listing that I've had is sold the same weekend, and then just interest rates are super low right now, where buyers, it's hard for them to not take advantage of the market. Clients with their own down payment getting interest rates as low as 2.75, which is insane. Clients with down payment assistance getting rates as low as 3.5, 3.625, which is insane. 2 years ago, these same programs were like in the 6%, right? So it is absolutely busy right now. If you've been thinking about selling your house, I promise you that I can probably find a buyer for it, or it will sell as long as it's priced right the same weekend that it comes on the market. My sellers that I've recently sold their houses for have gotten post-possessions, which basically means that they're able to sell the house, get their proceeds, and then take a couple extra weeks or a couple days to go then and shop for their next house. So that way they're not forced to be in this weird situation where they got to try to close within the same day, right? So that's one thing that's been real beneficial for my sellers. On the flip side, on the buyer's side, you want to make sure that you have an experienced agent that is going to help you structure a deal to be creative and stand out from the rest. There's certain things that most agents kind of hear in real estate school 101. Like that's all the normal stuff that most agents will do. I like to consider myself a very creative agent with my offers, where I try to do certain things or put certain things in the contract to just make us stand out a little bit. Sometimes that's not going to be, to be honest, most of the time that's not going to be the cheapest option. Most of the time we're having to increase the price, cover your own closing costs, even potentially pay certain fees that I wouldn't recommend paying. But that's what it's taking to get your offer accepted. At the end of the day, you're purchasing a house. It's going to require a little bit more skin in the game to get your offers accepted. But those are the type of difficult conversations that I'm willing to have with my clients, so that way they can get the home that they're looking for. That way they're not sitting on the sideline. Now, I'm not batting 1,000. I wish I was. That would make me, I'm not saying that every single offer that I send out there gets accepted. There's definitely been a couple clients, for whatever reason, the price point that they're in, the location that they're in, that we're not able to get our offer accepted. But for the most part, I am getting my clients' offers accepted even during these times. So just kind of take that information, guys. If you know anybody that's been thinking about selling, there's buyers out there that want their houses. They can maximize their profits. And of course, if you yourself, or if you know anybody that's been thinking about buying, interest rates are just so hard to beat right now. It's just a win-win for all parties involved. All right, guys. So please take that information, share it, run with it. I look forward to helping you either sell or purchase your home here in the near future. Thank you much, and have a great rest of your day. Take care.